So this is how every morning starts. Porridge oats, 60 grams raisin made with lactose-free milk, and watching funny moments on PUBG. I have to do it. Before I start work, I need some nice light entertainment. That's that. I feel like I'm ready to start the day. Morning stack, omega-3 and D3 in one, my X-Endurance tabs, and also my glucosamine all going in. Planned my session today. This is one thing that I do quite a lot recently because there's obviously doing a lot more CrossFit stuff. There's a lot of things that you can miss. So I've started to plan my sessions and skip that because it's on my other phone. Oh my god, he's got 2 phones. He must be some sort of pimp or a drug dealer. So everyone says. Anyway, today's session looks like this. Front squats 3x8 at 110, followed by strict pull-ups 3x10. Push jerks, 3x8 at 65, squat cleans, and I'm working up to a complex today of a power clean followed by a hang clean, which should be pretty spicy. And then we're finishing off with 5 ring muscle ups, 1 length of the floor, handstand walk, hopefully I can use a downstairs floor, 10 calories on the bike, 10 GHDs, 5 rounds. It's not going to be like a sprint because obviously ring muscle ups and handstand walks are things that I need to get better at doing when I'm actually fatigued. So one thing, if you struggle to motivate yourself sometimes in the gym or you feel like you're missing certain bits and pieces, like elements from your training, plan the night before, because when you go into the gym, you'll naturally just go towards what feels comfortable or what feels normal, whereas I don't really like doing ring muscle ups. I would rather do bar muscle ups because I'm better at them. But if I sit at home, I'm like, oh yeah, I should really work on my ring muscle ups. Write the damn thing down. Right, need to pack my bag, get over to the gym and do some training. Anyway, how are we all doing today? Let me know in the comments below because you guys have been extremely vocal recently in the comments and I really appreciate that. So at this point, how's your day going? Let me know. How's your training going? How's your nutrition going? How's life going? Let me know in the comments below. Right. Let's pack our bag. Going in gym bag. That's just remind me. If any of you guys and girls have been watching YouTube for a while, you remember this whole click from like years ago. Like people used to craze us all the time. So I think John actually featured it in a vlog at some point, just because he got sick of people asking. But it's like I'm gonna do it properly. I'm gonna do it properly, just the same as it would. How I used to watch these all the time. I used to think, what is going on? Right. Hi guys. Welcome back to my channel. This is so many people have been asking me to do this, so I just thought I've got to do it. But I just thought it's better for me to wait until somebody sponsors a video, and then I can put a product in my bag that looks like it's mine, but it's not. Anyway, today we're gonna do what's in my gym bag tag. Are you ready? There are so many things you wouldn't even believe inside my gym bag. Let's do it. Basically, that went around for about 5 years on YouTube. And I was just like, why does anyone care what's inside somebody's gym bag? Unless it's something practical that's gonna help your training. Like, nobody cares. Like, just so you know, I always take a weight belt to the gym. I always take my skipping rope, my nanos, and my lifters, my weight straps. Today, I'm taking a Nocco caffeinated pineapple drink. Don't worry, this has not been sponsored by Nocco, but it's going in there. And I take my water, and I'll always take a protein shake and some raisins. Oh, and also, I didn't even set the bag up. Always take a spare spoon, because you never know where you're gonna need a spare spoon. And always, I take a spare, if you're an Apple person, you'll know why I take this, because the USB adapter disappears. So sometimes you'll yank your cable out of your bag, and that's it, your plug's disappeared forever. So I always have one near the top. There you go. That's what's in my gym bag tag. Next week, I'm gonna do what's in my glove compartment tag. Oh, see you then guys, don't forget to subscribe. Decided to go for a coffee instead of getting, instead of having my Nocco, just keep an eye on caffeine. And I do have to say, hats off to Starbucks, because I obviously have a reusable cup and I left it in the car, and they turned around and said there is actually now a 5p charge on the cups to encourage people to get reusable ones now. It's beautiful. It sounds really stupid, tiny little things. I know there's probably a million other things that they could do better, the same as many other companies, but in this day and age, it's such a beautiful thing to see just all these huge companies starting to make tiny little changes to save the planet. And you know, like me and Carly had this conversation last night. We were talking about we're bringing our first child into this world. I know this is a little bit deep early on in the vlog, but it's like tiny little things make so much difference, and it's really heartwarming to see such huge corporations like that just doing their first tiny little steps to make a bit of a change. So cheers Starbucks, well done guys. It's a little bit quiet in here today. I feel like the music needs to be louder, or I need to be louder. First up, warm up. We're starting with front squats, so it's going to be upper back activation, thoracic mobilizing, mid and lower trap activation. I'm going to use some bands. Also, encouraging that front rack position whilst still keeping a solid back. Rolling the lats out, because my lats get super tight, which means the elbows can drop a little bit in that front position. Then it's general just mobilizing, making sure you can keep the elbows nice and high. If you struggle with it and you feel like you're getting a lot of pressure in the wrists, just roll those lats out a little bit more, encourage the movement, get somebody else to actually help you roll them out and stretch them out as well. It takes a while, it took me a long while with front squats and that front rack position, same with thrusters and catching and cleans. But trust me, just be vigilant, do it every single time you come in, first 10 to 15 minutes, and it will improve your movement pattern so much. So one little bit of progress, this time last year when I did this stretch, I was here, get to there. Shows you what a year can do if you stretch a little bit. Still obviously a long way to go with my thoracic mobilizing, but I remember looking at when John used to do it. Obviously his bum sunk back a lot more than mine because his hips are a lot more mobile as well, but his head was through between his arms, and I was like, how do you even get that? I couldn't even push through to that position, and now it's a lot more comfortable, so that's always good. Yes, Scotty with a little bit of the reggae mixes. Now I'm ready to squat. Thank God for that. Right, 3x10 strict pull-ups. It's been a while. Next up, power clean up, 2 3x8 push jerks. I'm aiming for 65. I did sets of 5 at 70 yesterday during like a Metcon, and it got quite spicy quite quickly, and for me this is all about technique, so it might end up at 60, but I'm going to start heavy. It's always better to go heavy and then find out. That wasn't quite as bad as I was expecting. A couple of them went, I didn't get my head through enough, so they went forward a bit, but I'm going to stick it that way. Right, last thing I'm working on before going into my round, my Metcon stuff at the end. Heavy complex with power clean, hang clean. My power clean is one of my weakest parts of my clean because I know that you have to pull and extend further to catch the bar above parallel. And obviously that's my weakest part because I'm super fast at jumping under the bar. So time to drill that today. My legs are so tired from front squats. I'm going to leave it there just because it's 90 kilos and that felt like I had 150 on the bar. So I'm going to move on to my Metcon stuff now. Last bit of work today is I need to work on my consistency with linking ring muscle ups because I'm slightly twisted all the time. So I'm going to do 5 ring muscle ups, handstand walk, some recovery calories on the bike, some GHD sit-ups. 5 rounds, just nice moderate pace, nothing too crazy, because I know I'm going to have some disgusting workouts for the boys over in Berlin this weekend with the seminar. If you're coming to the seminar, look forward to seeing you there. If you're not coming and you want to come, all the links to it where you can actually book your ticket are below. We're looking forward to seeing you all there. So let's get this last bit done and then go get some lunch. It's raining. That's what the Brits get for moaning about how wonderful the weather's been. It's all good. Right, home, I've got to pick up some food, then lunchtime, and I think we might have to go to the cave. We're gonna go to the Bat Cave. Right, I'll see you guys at home. So I don't know what happened between leaving the box and getting home. Some people call it, what, intuitive eating? I'm gonna adopt that today. So basically, I went to the shop and I was just like, well, first of all, obviously my wife's pregnant and she loves like home comfort food. So tonight I'm making her a spaghetti bolognese. I'm not even making my own sauce. I'm being super lazy and buying the Domino stuff. Let's all be honest, it does taste really good and it saves a lot of time. So I'm doing that. And for some reason today I was just like, I really fancy bacon and eggs. So my post-workout, my lunch today is gonna be a few rashers of bacon, some eggs and probably a slice of toast, which is almost like a builder's breakfast, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, I'm just going with it. You know, some days I hit the plan to the point and it's like measuring my chicken, measuring all my sweet potato, hitting all my greens, everything like that. Like tonight's meal will be a little bit of a home comfort meal and I'll still pretty much stay within the parameters of my calories and protein requirements mainly. 2 main focuses of mine to start with. Yes, it's going to be slightly suboptimal. My fat will be a little bit high through having the bacon. But you know what? Same as I always say to all of my clients, it's the cumulative effect. You know, if I have one day where I'm not 100% on the plan, but I have 6 days where I am, 6 over 1 is basic maths. So get this grub in. Oh, and I also bought hampers. You know from all the vlogs that I literally love these. I drink them all the time. And my missus loves the Lindors at the moment, so I bought her them so she can have a nice little snack for while I'm away over the weekend, bless her. Yeah, grub time, and then I'll see you in the Bat Cave because we've got a big one. This one is cardio versus weights for fat loss. Huge subject, and we're gonna cover it right now. Well, not right now because I need to eat right now, but right in a bit now. Yeah. Oh, birdies. Right, let's do this. I'm gonna move that out of the way because I keep looking at the screen all the time. It's such a bad habit, I'm sorry. Let's talk about cardio versus weights for fat loss. This came from a really good question from somebody who's just starting out. They commented on the video saying, where do I get started? What do I do? And I know from years and years of experience in this industry, the very next question that would come from that is, do I do cardio or do I do weights? First things first. If you take nothing else away from this Bat Cave episode, but understanding that they are one of the same, then I have done my job. It's got to do with money, ego, exclusiveness, all sorts of crap, right? But in the industry, it's the same argument as CrossFit versus bodybuilding and all this and calisthenics that and body weight that and all that is shit, right? It's all movement. And so many people are just trying to separate it all and put their fluffiness on it and go, oh yeah, this is better than that because of this. It's not, it's movement. And then it comes down to personal preference. So if you just take nothing else away from this apart from cardio and weights, they're movement. They're gonna burn calories. When the goal is fat loss, they're both gonna do the same thing, which is burn calories. Yes,
I have my opinion on what's best and why, and I'll tell you in just a second. But first of all, it's just movement, right? They're not two different identities, they're the same thing. So now we've got that out of the way. The second point to remember, regardless of how you want to train and what you want to do, the number one thing, the most accurate metric that we are measuring all the time and keeping an eye on, yes, it's calories, right? Training is a bonus. That comes down to your performance, and then it comes down to little bits of aesthetics and things that you want to work on. Use your training for that, because it's not a measurable macro metric that we can control. Some sessions are good, some sessions are bad. So the overall yield of calories is going to change. So bear in mind that nutrition is number one. Right, so we've got those out of the way. We're in the gym. My argument for cardio, if you are this person, and there are people out there, I've been in this industry for 10 years, and there's some people you just cannot get away from fucking scales. And it doesn't matter how many health benefits there are associated to lifting weights. It doesn't matter what I or anyone else says. If you are the male or female watching this video who only cares about the number in scales, you're probably just gonna wanna do cardio. I've said it, right? You will lose weight. You get your calories right and you move, you'll burn an average of 200 to 300, maybe 400 calories if you're absolutely rinsing it on that treadmill, cross trainer, random Stairmaster, just use the stairs. You're gonna burn calories, you're probably gonna lose a load of water, just the same as we do, which is the first yield when it comes to fat loss, why everyone gets so frustrated because they lose like 5 pounds in half a second because they lose a load of water. But you're probably also gonna lose some lean tissue as well. So yeah, if you're just a scales bunny, I'm not gonna argue with you, just do cardio. Done. Be done with it. You'll love it. It'll be great. My only problem when it comes to just cardio is, first of all, when I said about losing lean tissue, don't use it, you lose it. You need to activate your muscles to keep them there. You're also as well talking about joint health and joint stability. We want strong tendons, ligaments as well, supporting those joints and movement. You won't see most of the stuff that elite athletes do. Say a long distance runner, right? You'll normally only see them when they're competing, doing their event. But I can pretty much guarantee, unless they're really old school and stuck in their ways, 99.9% of them will be in the gym doing elements of power and strength training to support their movement or their sport, because it helps keep the joints and everything working. It helps support the movement and it stops them being injured. Injury prevention is super important when it comes to being an elite athlete. At that point, it is injury prevention, 90% of their work. So just bear that in mind. When it comes to weight training, first of all, you've got to get it right for the stimulus. The stimulus has to be right for what the goal is. We're talking about, sorry, my nose is really itchy today. We're talking about fat loss, which basically means burn calories, right? So I will always, regardless of whether your goal is to build a ton of muscle or to lose a ton of fat, you will have an element of strength in your training at some point. It won't be every single session, as in every exercise you do in every single session, whether you're training twice or 5 times a week, you won't be doing 5x5s. You will have one exercise that will probably be a 5x5 or something similar to that, because a good foundation of strength is gonna serve you long term. Then we will be bringing the rep range up, because more reps means more work, more volume means more calories burned. But I think the main thing with weights is, first of all, you're activating the muscles, fantastic. You're gonna help, if you're moving correctly and you're moving safely and effectively, you're gonna be looking after your joints, it's good health. Muscle, metabolically active, means it's gonna burn more calories, fantastic. And on a real vanity aesthetic side of things, it looks damn good. You know, for me, when I used to be a runner when I was younger, I was an absolute racing snake. Some people wanna be really small and all the rest of it, fine. For me, it just didn't work. I look in the mirror now, and I'm like, I've built that. I work hard, I train hard. Yes, I wanna have my top off at the beach and people go, he looks fucking good. He looks like he works out. I like it for myself. It makes me feel more confident. It makes me feel happy. By no means is an aesthetic, guys or girls out there, it's not a measure of who you are and what you are, it adds to it, right? So don't ever look for your happiness or your positivity or your confidence and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't come from an image or an aesthetic. You can be the fittest, sexiest male or female in the world, but you could still be insecure as fuck because you haven't worked on your own issues. So just bear in mind that the armor that we wear on the outside, it just adds to it. I don't think anyone is any more or less valuable based on how they look aesthetically, just to get that point clear. Right, so now we've got them both out of the way. My opinion, the most perfect cocktail when it comes to fat loss is have an element of both present in your training at some point, right? You don't have to do them at the same time. If you're someone who's got a lot of weight to lose to start with, I would be probably turning around and putting you on cardio machines to start with for a good chunk of a warm up, get you feeling comfortable and moving. Then we would have some light range work in terms of weights. God, my words just went well with. Light work where we'll be working on higher sets of reps, right? It's because it means you're gonna be moving, you're gonna be burning more calories. You'll have added weight, which means your body's gotta work harder. Working down to like a proper tailored training, I would probably put you at something like this, day one. Something like heavy back squats to start with, because we want to get into that strength range. Then I'd be bringing your reps up from 8 reps all the way up to around 12 to 15 reps because over 3 sets, because you'd be burning more calories, you'd be moving more. Yes, we can worry about the structural stuff and all the aesthetic stuff to finish off with, like the accessory things. But to start with, I'd be getting some resistance on you and getting you moving for a good amount of reps. We want to break that tissue down to build it back up. And then also you can finish with something like it doesn't have to be your classic CrossFit Metcon, but cardio and resistance together. There's nothing wrong with doing them both together. Get on the rower, bang out 10 to 15 calories. Get off the rower, jump over the rower back and forth doing burpees, and then finish with, I don't know, front squats with dumbbells, and you've got both forms of movement in there and you're burning a ton of calories. So, that is back cave sorted for today. I can turn this back round now. Hello guys, I'm looking at myself. Oh, how are you doing today? So that is the back cave subject, cardio versus weights for fat loss. Personally think they're one in the same. So try not to focus on separating them too much if you can. If you've got another back cave subject that you want to talk about, put it down below. We will talk about it. We will break it down, and we will cover it. So thank you all so much for watching. I need to go and pack my bags, get this vlog edited, because it's going up the same day that I'm obviously gonna be traveling to Berlin, which is tomorrow. Keep being awesome. Gonna have a fun time with the guys. We're gonna vlog the whole thing. Your support, as always, is phenomenal. Thank you all for being awesome, and I will see you in the next one.